leaving. Calm, composed, my father was a man of few words. He picked up his duffel bag and turned toward the door. I stood next to Mom, baffled by the bombshell. Wait, Dad, does this mean you're never coming back? I'll see you on Sundays for church. Things with your mom and me aren't working anymore. I'll see you soon. He gave me a squeeze and then he was gone. Stunned, my mother and I were left in silence, letting what just happened sink in. I looked to her for comfort, but I could see she had nothing to give. She turned and walked numbly into the dark living room. I ran to my room, threw myself on my bed, and sobbed myself to sleep. Waking the next morning, the memory sucker punched me in the gut. It wasn't a bad dream. At age 13, this was my new reality. I was devastated to learn that Dad had been having an affair with Mom's best friend. Not long after he left us, he was living with his mistress and her 3 boys. While Dad had happily moved on, Mom slid into a hole of drink and depression, which left me and my younger siblings to figure life out on our own. I boycotted the church and my hypocrite dad, and I began to hang out with other orphans at Lorinda's, the small town pool hall that served underage kids beer. I'd found my new home. For more than 2 decades, I continued to seek solace and security in all the wrong places. It wasn't until my son was born, 23 years after Dad had left on that fateful night, that I permitted any true reconnection with him. I was a new single mother, and Dad showed an authentic desire to help out where he could. I accepted his support gratefully. And in turn, I had the urge to show up for my son as the best version of me. I had to get honest. I conceded I had an addiction to alcohol. Recovery was painful, but it transformed me into someone who learned how to forgive. By letting go of the past, I could create a new present. My relationship with my father blossomed, and he became a key figure in my growing boy's life. By the time my son was 9, my father was navigating some tough challenges of his own. Readily, I stepped up to support after his wife's death, and again to help with the next issue, hospital visits and treatment for his rapacious skin cancer. As hard as this period was for us, the bond between Dad, myself, and my son grew stronger. After a solid 2-year fight, my son and I visited Dad on Father's Day, placing an orchid by the window of his palliative care room. 1 week later, he was gone. Forgiving doesn't mean that what happened was right, but the gift in forgiveness is the freedom from angst. They say holding on to resentment is like taking poison and expecting the other person to die. My forgiveness wasn't for Dad, it was for me. What a gift it was to have spent the last 10 years of Dad's life growing closer. Sometimes a relationship with a parent can be salvaged with the willingness to forgive. A spark of love can be rekindled, and when you fan the flames with acceptance, a bright new tie can be fused.